Welcome to day 162 of the 300 movie challenge. Today we actually watched the highest grossing film of November 2007. Hooray! Which was
Yay!
Enchanted.
Yay!
Three things I want to say immediately.
Okay.
The first is that I feel like I need to watch 300 to balance out this movie.
You feel the chick flickness.
Yes, I'm like, I need to watch something explode.
No, he needs to watch something man. He has to be a man again.
Yes,
Watch something
I've
extra.
been emasculated by the evil feminists. Okay. But okay, two like really specific things that I thought of that I just like I need to just say this now. So the scene near the end where like the apple like rolls down the stairs and like through a bunch of people to like run into that guy's like foot.
Yeah.
How many times do they have to do that scene? I'm just
Yeah,
imagining
I know,
like
right? Like I mentioned that too. I was like, yeah, how many times did they have to, and how many apples got sacrificed?
I know like it just so many people actually keep stepping on it.
It could have been a plastic apple and like.
Still though, that could get dense after all, because there's
Yeah.
like pointy heels and.
That's true.
Wait, no, if it
Like-
was like plastic, then they like slip on it and like fall.
Oh my god!
They had to replace the extras.
But okay, so
That'd be
that's
so sad.
so that's that. The other thing, I don't know why I thought this, but I was like, oh my god, what is wrong with me? So, the moment where like the girl like gets the credit card or whatever out of the drawer, and she's like, my dad only said to use this in case of an emergency. For some reason, my mind like had this image of instead of pulling out a credit card, she pulls out a gun.
Oh my god!
And I'm like, oh my god. Just like imagine if that's what she got.
Oh my god!
She could just shoot the evil kid.
Like no, actually that would have been hilarious if she literally was like, oh, and then like they just cut away, and then it's revealed at the very end when like the evil queen shows up, she just shoots her.
America.
But yeah. So
This was, well, me and Ryan have watched this when it first came out, like, all the way back in 2007 and stuff.
Approximately around there. I think I watched this on like DVD, so it must have been
I think I
either
watched it in theaters.
6 months to a year afterwards. I watched it.
But, yeah, I remember enjoying it as a kid, and I still found myself enjoying it
Yeah.
as an adult, too.
It's just a kind of like it's the
And you
kind
get-
of movie where you just kind of have fun with it. If you like the sort of stuff, at least.
yeah.
And you appreciate all the parody references that they make, like there's Cinderella, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty.
Oh yeah, all the cameos too.
Yeah, apparently, wait, there was a list of cameos I saw on Wikipedia. Okay. There's, so apparently the soap opera character that they see in the television and everything was Paige O'Hara, in other words, the singing and speaking voice of Belle in Beauty and the Beast. Then Sam's secretary was Jodie Benson, who was the speaking and singing voice of Ariel.
Oh, is that why she like drank the fish in that scene then?
Oh, that's probably.
That's Ariel.
Then Jodie Keen. I'm sorry if I mispronounced her last name. The pregnant woman with the kids that appeared at the door and everything.
Mhm.
She was the singing voice of Pocahontas.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
And then Julie Andrews was the narrator.
No. Oh, that's why I recognized her voice. I was like,
So it's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, that's so cool.
I mean, I feel about this film kind of about how I felt about Stuart Little, where it was like very obviously not for me, but like I can't exactly say anything was wrong with it, so
Right.
Yeah.
I can't dislike it, but I also feel like I don't know, like I totally again the whole like parodying thing and all that's fine, but there were some things that were like, even though I know it's a parody, I still find it kind of annoying. So, like, for example, like, just her talking about how her tone, about, like, oh, that. I'm like, I know what you're doing, but it's still annoying to me. So, oh, and the comment I made that was, like, after that whole, like, song dance thing in the middle at Central Park. I'm like, literally, they could not do this anywhere else besides Central Park because you could actually believe that something like this could happen in Central Park, but nowhere else.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's stuff like that. I actually kind of the whole thing about like what was the framing of it now? Well, it was the whole kind of the balance between like, you know, wanting to have like a magical experience versus the reality of like not everything's gonna go your way. But they like acknowledge that like there's kind of good and bad from both aspects of that. So I liked that.
Because most people would lean completely in one direction or in another direction, but this movie was like a happy middle where there were two couples and they both had different happy endings.
Yeah.
Like one was in reality and one was in the magical world.
Yeah.
Even though the second couple kind of just randomly happened, but I guess that
that did feel kind of.
of.
I mean, I guess you could think that, you know, considering that they ended up in the fairy tale, that like it's fitting given that universe. But it's still kind of like I kind of wish they did a bit more of like that because I mean obviously the focus was the fairy tale people in real life, but I kind of wish it was the other way around.
Oh, like the real people in the fairy tale life?
I don't know. Like maybe that just would have like been
the
too much,
really like irky, but it was supposed to be irky. But when she like, you know how she did that call for like all the animals, and then in the fairy tale,
that was good.
all
that
the
was
cute,
great.
happy like little forest bunnies, and then you see it in New York, and you just start cringing when you see the cockroaches.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. I like that, and the fact that they still like did it, like, because I thought like, wait, are they gonna actually like do it? And then they did. I'm like, okay, that's actually pretty funny. So yeah, I like that.
It was really cringy, but it was really hilarious.
Yeah, so that was probably the funniest part. And
the pizza throwing.
Oh yeah, impressive pizza throwing.
And it just explodes.
Yeah.
There's your explosion, Val, and there were 2 explosions in this movie.
What was the other one?
When the dragon fell.
Oh, okay, fine.
You got 2 manly explosions.
That's not enough,
no.
apparently.
I don't know what I'm trying to think of, like, probably just just go with Die Hard. I think that's the best counter. But look, from my perspective, this could have been so much worse. So I see this as, you know what? All right, fine, good enough.
You'll take it.
I was like, there is like a 0% chance I'm going to like really like this. So there you go. Good enough. Fine. I'll take it.
That said, one random thing that I want to mention is that this chipmunk looks so much better than the stupid Alvin and the Chipmunk.
Those are not chipmunks.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I watched the original ones and I was so sad.
Yeah, the original one was good, like with the actual cartoon.
Yeah, with the cartoon. But then when I saw like this chipmunk, I was like, this chipmunk has a better singing voice than the Justin Timberlake chipmunk. At least I think it's Justin. I don't remember who the voices are.
You really want to know?
No, not really.
I will say that this challenge has, led us to see many terrible movies. But we have been blessed by the movie gods because we will never see an Alvin and the Chipmunks movie. And we will not see any of the Smurfs movies. So we have escaped those fates.
And gnome movies, I think.
Oh yeah, none of those.
Oh my god, why did they have that?
I don't know.
And then the Emoji movie too.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So yes, we are free from that curse of having to see any Alvin and the Chipmunks movies. Oh my god, I would have been so upset.
Wait, Valen, did you see the original Alvin and the Chipmunks movies? Like the cartoon ones?
No.
Oh,
don't
maybe we
really know
can
anything
do that
about
on
it.
bonus list.
Oh yeah, we can do. There were like 3 movies, or
I don't remember how many.
I remember watching 2. I can't remember if I watched 3.
I watched 3, but I don't know if there were more than that. Anyway, Enchanted!
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of my take on it. I don't really have too much to add to it, I don't think.
Apparently I lied before in saying that Tarzan was our last animated Disney film. this was technically the last.
I mean, it's animated for like what, less than 10% of it.
Yeah, but then after we're not seeing. I guess should I give a spoiler that we're not seeing?
Oh, Princess and the Frog.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're not seeing that.
which is very unfortunate. Which
Representation.
technically is actually the last animated film that Disney, well, animated 2D film
Yeah.
that Disney ever made, but
Yeah.
this will be the last sequence that we see.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it. I'm actually kind of curious if I could see that, but well, there's always the bonus list.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, let's. Oh, I closed the file. Oh well. Just gonna look at. Well, I can still open it. Just gonna look at actually future stuff to see kind of what's. Again, there's no more 2D animated, but there are at least. I mean, okay, obviously there's some Pixar and DreamWorks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I want to
of
see if
course.
there's like anything else that's kind of stands out. I don't think so though. But
Oh,
Not that I know.
There's-
oh well, what we are
that-
gonna get into
that's-
is there's a couple of these. We're gonna get into the live action remakes of some
Oh,
Disney
no.
movies. So, I will say this: there is one of them that we are seeing that
Mhm.
I've seen a lot of hate for that I actually don't think is that bad.
Which one?
Well, I'm not going to tell you which one it is.
Oh,
Um,
right. Yeah.
But it's one of those things where I kind of understand the criticism, but at the same time, it like, for one, doesn't really bother me, and at this other hand, I also think that if that criticism is really what you're so mad about, like,
Mhm.
get better priorities. I don't know. Like, I don't think it's an amazing film, but it's definitely something that's like, people really shouldn't be hating this as much as they are. But
Mhm.
anyway, well, that's still several years away. But yeah, this was totally solid movie. Again, as someone who's completely not, into this kind of stuff, I still was like, yeah, it's fine. So, as long as if you have a very low tolerance of, like, I don't know what the word framing is, whimsy.
Yeah.
Whimsical?
Yeah, basically this is like this is just whimsy. This is whimsy the movie. So if you could take that, then it's fine.
You'll be
It's good.
fine.
It's definitely an interesting contrast from the previous movie.
Yeah.
They're both quote unquote magical, but in completely different ways. So, yeah, but yeah, it was.
I wonder what Harry Potter would think of the Enchanted World.
He'd be like, "What is going on? Why are
He'd
the
be like,
animals?"
happy ending, my parents are here!
Well, wait, but Harry Potter is like kind of supposed to be like the real world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true.
So what if literally the whole? Oh my God! Wait. So what if the whole thing was like the evil queen was like, "I'm gonna send her to this horrible world where there's like no magic and nothing's enchanting," and then she actually sent her to Hogwarts. It's like,
That
oh
would be
shit.
hilarious.
And then by the end of it, like when she tries to when the evil queen goes to side with Voldemort, she ends up facing her and Harry. That'd actually be kind of interesting.
That'd be hilarious. But I don't know. I don't feel like there's much else to talk about for this movie.
I don't think
Unless you guys
so.
have anything else to say.
Not that I can think of at the moment.
But I'm not looking forward to the next movie.
The next movie is like as far opposite of this one as you can get.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of curious to see this. There's drama surrounding the film in terms of like the final product versus kind of how it should have been. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I've also heard it's even despite that, it's still at least okay, decent. And actually, is this the first kind of movie like this that we've seen?
I think
We will
so.
I believe it might
I
be,
think
unless you
so.
count Independence Day. I don't know.
No, not like that. I mean, so I'm talking about specifically like the things.
Oh,
know what I mean?
yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, and usually those kind of movies I don't like because they're really gross. But this is, not rated that. It's not an R, so
Yeah. So I think it should be okay.
Yeah, so I'll be curious. It'll be very
For you
interesting.
two, it should be okay.
It'll be
For
very
you two, it
interesting
should-
movie to end this year on, considering what we have seen before that. We have the year of Ratatouille and Enchanted and Harry Potter, and then this.
Even Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
and then yeah, this. Well, we shouldn't talk about this year since we have to do that next time. But
I want to watch Ghost Rider again.
Ghost Rider. I would love to watch
You
that
guys
again.
can watch the next week. I'll watch Ghost Rider.
so yeah, last movie of 2007 coming up next, and there you go.
Have an enchanted night.
I knew
No,
one of you was
it's
gonna do it. I didn't know which one it was gonna be.
It wasn't me.
I thought it was gonna be you, so
It wasn't
consider
me.
yourself lucky that Tara had to do it first. Anyway, bye.
Good night.
Bye.